So due to the whole COVID situation, a lot of us have had to change the way that we date. Where we may usually go on first dates for drinks, dinner, now we're having to think of more simple ways to date, such as going to the park. Now, I personally think going for a park date for the first date is a really good first date idea for a few reasons. One, you don't have to worry about who splits the bill. Two, you don't have to stay there over the course of 3 courses. If you're not happy, not having fun, you can easily fit it in between something else that you're doing in the day and make an excuse to leave. The other thing is you don't have to worry too much about dressing up too much, and you can be a little bit more relaxed with what you're wearing. And usually if you're on a park date, it's normally going to be on a weekend, which hopefully means you're less stressed about work, whereas our usual dates are often after work when you've had a really long stressful day and you may not necessarily be in the best energy to be making a great connection. So the good thing about a park is they're everywhere, they're free, and also many parks, particularly in places like London, have other landmarks and places of interest that you can explore while on your park date. So right now we are at Hampstead Heath. We have Kenwood House here, we have lakes here, we have a spot where people fly kites, we have a boating lake, we even have a place where you can go for a swim. So there's so much to do, in fact, on a park date. And I always encourage activities for a really good sort of easy first date. So here's some quick tips on how you can have a really good first park date. So the first one is plan where it is that you're going. Now, such as the park we're at now, they have various different entrances, so make sure that you let the person know which entrance they should be meeting you at, because the last thing you want is to end up on completely different ends of the park, and by the time you actually meet, you've had to walk about an hour before you even met each other. So make sure you let the person know what entrance to meet you at, so still plan ahead for the date. The second thing is what to wear. Well, a lot of people would think, you know, just dress very casual, maybe chuck on your trainers. Now, you can chuck on your trainers if you want, but for the ladies, I would say still make an effort. What I'm wearing today is a summery dress, which I think is a kind of what I call an all-purpose dress. You know, it's one that you can wear for a park, but you could also, if you ended up going somewhere to eat, you'd still feel comfortable wearing it. So I would try to go for a sort of all-purpose outfit, because you don't know, you might end up going and stopping off somewhere for something to eat at the end of it. So the park is a good starting point, but it may not be the end point of your date. So make sure you're still wearing comfortable shoes. You know, this is not the date to come in your 7-inch heels, right? It's the date to come in maybe some wedges. So I would still even wear a little heel, but instead of wearing those high stilettos, you know, wear a pair of wedges instead. The other thing that I'd say is make sure you're hydrated. Although you might stop off to get somewhere, it's always good to have a bottle of water with you while you're walking around. And also, if there is a moment where the conversation goes a bit still, you can just have a sip of your drink, and it just buys you a little bit more time to kind of get your thoughts together as well. The other thing I would actually suggest is taking along a little treat for someone. So I always think it's really sweet when someone comes along with, you know, a little token, whether it's like a little cupcake, maybe a packet of sweets, something just to offer your date at the beginning is a really nice gesture, nice thing to do. So another really nice thing to do on your date is to bring along a little gesture, a little something thoughtful. It could be, you know, you've picked up a drink, a bottle of water for that person as well. It could be that you've brought along a little cupcake, something small, but actually even just bringing a bottle of water, what that automatically says to your date is you're really thoughtful. You're not just thinking of yourself, you've actually thought of them, which is a really good sign. Another tip for a good park date is to maybe suggest having a picnic. We've talked about, you know, the awkwardness maybe of going on a dinner date and sitting there having a dinner, but it's really nice to go along and just have a few nibbles together. So I would suggest, you know, saying to your date, look, why don't we either stop off at the supermarket first, pick up some things together, or you could suggest that you bring some things and they bring some things. Maybe one of you brings the savoury, the other one brings the sweets. So that way you're also working together as a team for the date and preparing for it as well. And it's quite a fun thing to do. And then, of course, someone needs to bring the picnic blankets and just have a nice little relaxed, snacking session together. So that's something you could suggest. Another good tip for a park date is also you could use it as an opportunity to not just go for a walk, but if you both have a bike, for example, you could suggest, let's go for a bike ride. You might even put on your roller skates. I've even been on a park date where I've gone roller skating. That was really good fun. So there's another tip for you. Some of the boating lakes are also opening, so you could potentially get involved in a bit of boat action. For you guys, it's a good opportunity to show your strength and how you can row and take the lead. Another tip I would say is just be friendly to everybody else around you. Be warm, and also just most importantly, be present. It's really hard sometimes to be present on a date, particularly if you're on a dinner date and you're thinking about what to say. But a beautiful thing about being in a park is you can literally just appreciate nature. You can just say, oh wow, look at those beautiful flowers, look at that tree, look at that couple over there, they're probably on a first date too, right? You can just make discussions around what's going on in your environment, and it helps you to stay really present and grounded. You don't need to be speaking constantly. You can literally just say, you know what, I'm just going to close my eyes for a minute and just kick back and enjoy the sunshine. And you can't do that on a dinner date or a drink date. So I think it's a really good opportunity to just be present, be yourself, be relaxed. And I say be, and it really is about being, like how you're being on a date should be more important than what you're doing on the date. So that's my main tips for you for a good first park date. Do subscribe for more updates. I will be sharing some more tips on all sorts of dating scenarios and dating ideas. And visit cupidinthecity.com if you want to have a consultation about being set up on a date yourself with our personalised matchmaking service.